I take what I can get over here. And, people were in Lake Ontario already, so I was
And
pretty surprised.
oh, that's great. Yeah, here it's
Yeah.
beautiful, green, everything's
Hmm.
good. So, okay, I think we're going to start the meeting. So, Stephanie, thank you very much for taking time of your long weekend to talk to us about Celestial Cruises. I think it is something not a lot of people know about that much. Uh, so, thank you for coming out, and thank you for everyone who's joining us. So I just ask that if you have any questions during the presentation, please put it in the Q&A. At the end of Stephanie's presentation, I will go there, and if there's any questions, we'll get you to answer it, put you on the spot. So with this, Stephanie, thank you for doing it once again, and the floor is all yours. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much for inviting me today as well. I really do appreciate everybody taking the time. And like we said, especially on your long weekend, to come and learn a little bit about a brand that you might not know too much about. So I'm just going to double check my screen here, make sure everything I can see, and we should be good to go. Okay. So my name's Stephanie McDonald. I am the training and development manager at Celestial Cruises, as well as the business development manager for Canada. So I kind of handle two roles. I couldn't give up my Canadian role, wanted to make sure that I could experience it and tell everybody all in Canada all about this amazing product. I've been with Celestial for about 2.5 years now. Previous to that, had been as a rep for many, many years in the cruise industry. And I switched over to Celestial because they have something really special. And hopefully by the end of this presentation, you'll feel that as well, that we're a little bit different, a little bit, unique in the way that we are as a brand. And again, hopefully you will be as excited about the product as I am after the presentation. So we're going to sail away to Greece, the Mediterranean, and to the Arabian Gulf. So, who is Celestial? Well, we're a Greek owned and operated cruise line. We've actually been around for quite some time, but 10 years ago, we changed our name to Celestial Cruises. So, we are celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year. So, we've had a lot of changes over those 10 years, and the majority of that has actually happened within the last 2.5 years. So, the first thing is that we've replaced 100% of our fleet, both ships. So we have a boutique fleet of two vessels that I'll show you a little bit about. We have a deep regional expertise. If you're thinking about going to Greece, who better to show you Greece than somebody who's Greek, right? They know the area like the back of their hand. They go and visit on their summer vacations to the amazing islands. So nobody's better to show you this destination than somebody that is from that destination. But it's not the only place that we sail. We have expanded into some new regions as well. We have very immersive itineraries, jam-packed with really some can't miss destinations, and some destinations that you may not have even heard of or thought about, and then they end up being that one on the cruise that you remember the most. And then the thing about our brand that might be a little bit different than some other products is that we are all about the destination. The ship is secondary. Although the ships are gorgeous, it's not about that. It's about where you're going and spending as much time in port as you possibly can. And so we rarely have days at sea, and we do spend a significant amount of time in the ports of call, even some later sailings. evenings in some of the different itineraries and overnights as well. So the first thing I want to do is introduce you to our fleet. And like I said, we're a fleet of two. So we've got the Celestial Discovery, which is 42,000 tons. The ship holds 1,360 guests. Now, this particular ship does our 3 and 4 night itinerary. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it specifically, but let's say you're going over to Greece and you want to do, you're doing 2 weeks of maybe land and stuff, or you're traveling Europe, wherever, and you want to do the Greek islands, but you don't have 7 days to dedicate to it. These 3 and 4 nights are really, really jam-packed itineraries with 2 ports of call every day. So again, not necessarily something that you're not going to go over from here just to do a 3 or 4 day, but I want to show you this because we also partner with some other companies. Maybe you're booking a trip with Trafalgar or Globus or Colette, and if there's a cruise component, that's going to be on board our Celestial Discovery. So one of the things about us when it comes to dining on board, regardless of which ship, it's an open dining concept. So you would come and go into the restaurant at whatever time you please during the meal service hours, as well as we've got, so that would be in the Thalassa, the main restaurant. We have the Taverna, which is the buffet, and we have 2 specialty restaurants on this particular ship to offer. One which is called Grill Seekers, steak and seafood restaurant, and then one that is called Smoked Olive, which is a bit of a Mediterranean restaurant. So I'm just showing you these so you can see the design and everything of the ship. I love that it's very celestial of us that there's a bar in the middle of the ship, the shape of a star. We didn't do that. The ship came with that, which I think it was meant to be for us. But again, it's about the destinations that we're sailing to and seeing all the different ports. So the ship I really want to show you, the one that we talk the most about in North America, is the ship that does our 7 night product, and this is on board the Celestial Journey. So before I talk too much about that, I'll show you a video specifically about the journey. So this is the Celestial Journey. She's 55,000 tons, holds 1,260 guests. So again, a new to us vessel. The company that had her prior to us put about $40 million into refitting the ship, and we've also done the same since we have acquired her. So don't let the year it was built fool you, because the ship is basically brand new with all the incredible updates. So the ship has 149 balconies, 630 staterooms, 7 different restaurants, and 8 different bars to check out. So first, let me show you the staterooms, because of course you're going to have to know where you're going to be sleeping on board. So we've got our inside, we have exterior, balconies, and suites. So our interior Cosmos cabin kind of gives the illusion that you're not in an inside room with that curtain there, but I promise you that you are. The room's 181 square feet. That is a very large inside room. Your average balcony on most ships is about 185. So the exterior room is 204 square feet. But honestly, once you've got a balcony, it's hard to go to anything else. And this is our junior Junior Dream Suite. So the room is 226 square feet. And in the room, originally they had bathtubs. And what we did is we ripped out those bathtubs and put in these beautiful large showers. If you have cruised before, you know how tiny showers and bathrooms can be on a ship. Well, this ship, the rooms and bathrooms are really, really large, especially the shower size of it. It's pretty incredible. Very deep balcony and everything as well. And then if you want to step it up a little bit more, we've got our grand suite. So this room is 376 square feet. So once you come into here, you start getting concierge service. It's sort of like a mini butler service that we have the attendant to do the petit fours and canapes and stuff like that in your room. And, any meal service that you would like to do in your room, they would do that. They can book any of your spa appointments or shore excursions or what have you. They're there to assist. And then we have one penthouse suite. We call it the Stargazer Suite. The room is 944 square feet. So it's a very large, separate living room from the bedroom, a separate jacuzzi tub and shower. And honestly, the closet, if I could have that closet at home, I would be in heaven. Beautiful living space as well, and the ability to have additional guests in this room that you would actually have a Murphy bed that comes out from the wall. Now, while you're on board, of course, you're going to enjoy some of the different guest areas, and we've got two pool deck spaces on this ship. We have one that's in the middle of the ship that the roof will open and close, so depending on the weather, will depend on whether it's open or closed, hopefully open for you. And then we have the beautiful aft pool deck. Now, that's my spot. That's the spot I go when I'm on board because, for one, you feel like you're on your own private yacht. It's a great place to watch sail away. And I was just on the cruise 2 weeks ago, and we started doing some sail away parties out here on the aft deck. More specifically, one of the days that I noticed was when I was in Montenegro and we were sailing through the fjords, and you have the most beautiful unobstructed view from the back of the ship. In regards to dining on board, we have three complimentary restaurants. We have the Thalassa, which is your main restaurant, your main sit down. Again, you come and go at whatever time you want during the meal service hours. We have the Taverna, which is the buffet. And then we also have the Greek deli, and we've added on a pizza bar here, finding that North Americans really want pizza. So we've got Greek and pizza. You can have both of them there complimentary. And then we have a few different specialty restaurants. So with that, we've got Pink Moon, which is a bit of an Asian fusion. Here you can have an a la carte, or you can do a three-course meal for 42 euros. We have Smoked Olive, which is your Mediterranean pizzas, pastas, risottos, stuff like that. Again, you can do an a la carte or five-course meal for 49 euros. Just so you're aware, euros are similar to US dollars right now. If you're wanting to know a comparable, that would be the closest to give an example. Then Grill Seekers, we also have an a la carte or 49 euros for your meal here in Grill Seekers. And then entertainment on board. I often get asked, what about entertainment on board? You're so port focused, and I know I haven't showed you the itineraries yet, but because we're so port focused, people feel like, what's happening on the ship in the evening? Well, we've got our amazing production cast that put on shows every single night of the cruise. There's also a lot of live entertainment in the different bars and lounges. You may have noticed from the video that there was a bit of magic happening. Most of our bar staff are also magicians, and they also do a magic show one night during the cruise in the Martini Bar. Speaking of the different bars, of course, there's a Martini Bar. There's 8 different bars and lounges to check out, and you may have also noticed from the video some pretty unique cocktails that were being made. Those are from what we call the alchemy menu, and they're found in the Blue Bar. Now, if you are a connoisseur of cocktails, that's where you're going to want to go. But if you're not, like I'm not, then you also go and check that out, because watching them make those drinks is a whole form of entertainment in itself. But it's not about the ship. It's about where the ship is taking you and the incredible itineraries that we have available for you. So in the Mediterranean Greek island area, we have 4 different things really to choose from. It says 3 here, but it's really 4. We've got our 3 and 4 night Greek islands on board the Discovery. We've got our heavenly Greece, Italy, Croatia, Montenegro, heavenly Croatia, Greece, Venice, Montenegro, and then our idyllic Greece. We originally called those Heavenly Adriatic, but we needed to be more specific as there's, amazing destinations on that itinerary. But let's take a deeper look into the itineraries. I am going to start with the 3-night, because remember I said how jam-packed these are? So with our 3-night, this is a Friday to Monday itinerary. It doesn't look like it with the amount of stops that we have, right? But again, you can do a lot in a short amount of time. We're going to sail from the port of Lavrion. So what you would do is fly into Athens, spend a couple of days hopefully in Athens, and then from Athens, it's about about 45 minutes to make your way over to Lavrion. We're going to sail at 1 o'clock in the afternoon that day because later that afternoon we're going to be in Mykonos. Then the following day we're in Kustasi in the morning, which gives you ample amount of time to see what most guests are going to do in Kustasi, which is to see the ancient city of Ephesus. Then we sail in the afternoon and we go to Patmos. If you're not familiar with Patmos, it's where Paul the Apostle was exiled. He had a monastery and would do his sermons in secret in a grotto. And I learned that story while sitting in that grotto, kind of a bit of a goosebump moment. Then the following day, we're in Crete in the morning, sail in the afternoon, Santorini in the evening, and we end this 3 days on Monday back in Lavrion. The 4 night is basically the same, except that we do it, it's a Monday to Friday now, and we do an entire day in Rhodes. So again, I don't expect anybody to go and do a 3 or 4 night just on its own, but just to note that it's a way that you could see the islands without having to do the ferries if you were going to do a bit of a land trip. Looking at our 7 night, now, I literally just did this itinerary 2 weeks ago, and I kid you not, it was incredible. I'd never been to any of these ports of call, and they all were phenomenal. So this is our heavenly Greece, Italy, Croatia, Montenegro. We do it in April, May, October, and November, and it's 7 days out of the port of Piraeus. So again, you fly into Athens, and from downtown Athens, the Plaka area, it's about 20 to 25 minutes to Piraeus. On this itinerary, we also sail at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The following day, we're in Kefalonia, and you can go and check out the Melisani and the Drogarati caves, which are pretty cool. Then the following day, we're in Dubrovnik, and we don't sail till 2:30 in the morning. So you have ample amount of time to really explore the medieval walled city of Dubrovnik and check out some of those Game of Thrones locations. And if you're like me, walk the upper part of the castle or of the walled city, which was pretty cool. Then we're in Kotor, Montenegro. Now, I will tell you, of this itinerary, that's that port of call that I said. Remember when you don't know about it and it's the one that stood out? Montenegro definitely stood out. It was incredible. Right where the ship docks, you walk under a tunnel and immediately you are into the medieval environment. It feels like you're back in the 1300s. Absolutely beautiful just to check out the area here. Also some really incredible hikes and some great scenery. You can head up to the top in the forest and get a beautiful view of all of Montenegro. Then in Bari, Italy, if you're not sure if you've never maybe not heard of Bari, Italy, they have a little town nearby that they have these things called truly houses, and it's really a fairy tale town when you're checking that out. Corfu, Greece is known to be the Capri of Greece, so absolutely beautiful, stunning scenery. And then Katakolo, Greece is the birthplace of the Olympics. So we went to where the Olympic torch is lit every 2 years, and also where the Olympics actually started in 776 BC. And then this 7 day cruise ends on Saturday back in the port of Piraeus. In the summertime, we have a few of the heavenly Venice, Greece, Croatia, and Montenegro. So we do this one just 3 times a year, and it is in the summer. So it's Athens, a day at sea, Kotor, Montenegro, Split, Croatia, where you could go to the Krka National Park and see all those incredible waterfalls that are offered in Croatia. We have Venice, Italy, a day at sea, Katakolo, and then ending the cruise back in Athens. Now, you may or may not be familiar with the fact that ships just simply cannot go into Venice any longer. So the size of your ship makes a significant difference. Because we're 55,000 tons, we're able to dock in the port called Marghera. Marghera is a quick 20-minute water taxi ride into Venice, as opposed to larger ships that need to be in places like Ravenna, which is about 2 hours away by bus. So if you're thinking about Venice, you want to look at the size of your ship for sure. And then our core product, the one that we're best known for, it's called our Idyllic Grease. And so most of 25 is sold, so I'm showing you 2026. If you're looking for 2025, there may be a few one-offs, but we do tend to book a little bit further in advance. So this is our Idyllic Grease. It's a Saturday to Saturday departure. This is the one we're most known for and what we've been doing for years and years, and it really truly is the best way to see Greece. So we'll do out of the Port of Piraeus now at 5 o'clock. We'll do the port of Kustasi, so we'll have Ephesus and still a lot of time to go in and do some shopping or maybe go to a Turkish bath, which is really cool. It's a great way to exfoliate. Then we've got the port of Rhodes the following day for a whole day, and then Crete. And then we're in Santorini until 10 o'clock at night. So you have a lot of time to do a lot of things in Santorini. If you're familiar with Santorini, it's obviously it's an island that a sunken in volcano, and the rim of that volcano is called a caldera. And you've got to to make your way up to the top to actually see Santorini. So when you do a shore excursion, we bring you over to where the buses are and we zigzag you up the mountain. But then when your tour is done, you're left in a town called Fira. And Fira has the cable car, and you may have heard of the donkey paths. So the donkey paths are there. Now, there's two ways up and two ways down from there. You either take the cable car or you take the donkey path. Personal thought, take the cable car. I've done the donkey path once. It was not the most pleasant experience, check mark. Been there, done that, but the donkeys will do whatever they want to do wherever they want to do it. So take that as you will. So it's not the most enjoyable walk up or down. I like to watch it from the comforts of the cable car. But the cable car is tricky because there's only 6 cars that go up and 6 that go down, and they each accommodate 6 people at a time. So it's nice that we sail at 10 o'clock at night because most of the other cruise ships are sailing right after sunset at about 6 or 7. And so the lineup for that cable car can be pretty long, but not for our guests because we're not sailing till significantly later. Then the following day, we're in Mykonos from 8 a.m. until 2 a.m. Mykonos is known for its beach clubs and its nightlife. And you might be like, I'm not going out till 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, you never know. The spirit might move you. What most of our guests do is they go out for the day, they explore, they see everything, they come back on board for dinner, and then they have the opportunity to go out for a walk or maybe find a local taverna and get a little bit more local culture as well. And it's nice because you're not feeling that rush to get back to the ship because we're not sailing until 2 o'clock in the morning, right? So something to think about there. And then the last port is the port of Milos. Topography of the port of Milos of the island, it feels like you're walking on the moon. It's also really great because we're the only ship in port on that day, so it's a great way to round out the cruise. This is also an amazing itinerary if you've never cruised before because it is so port intensive. Now, next, of course, to be a year-round product, we can't sail in Greece because Greece is actually cold. So we have extended our itineraries and we have done one season so far. Now we're heading over with both our ships over to the Arabian Gulf. We're going to do 2 different itineraries, sort of 3 different breakdowns of them. The first one being called Desert Days. Then we have our Gulf Icons, and then we have our iconic Arabia. So let me show you the Desert Days. This is on board the Journey as well. It's sailing out of Doha, Qatar. So this is a Saturday to Saturday departure out of Doha. We sail at 11 o'clock at night, but I recommend, obviously, if you're flying all the way to Doha, you're going to want to come in a couple days early. Now, maybe you're not familiar with this part of the world and you think, oh, I don't know. Honestly, doing it on a cruise ship is the best way to do it for sure. You can see a lot, let us do the driving and even do the tours with us. And then, there's a certain comfort level with that. I've been over to Doha, Qatar twice last year, once just for Doha and the second time for personal vacation to do this itinerary with my family, and it was incredible. Doha is one of the cleanest countries I have ever been to. It's also known as one of the safest. So year over year, it's been listed as one of the safest countries. And I definitely felt that. It was unbelievable. So we do Doha, Qatar, a day at sea. Then we've got 2 days in Dubai. So lots of time to see everything you're going to want to see in Dubai. Surbaniaz Island is kind of like it's a beach day, but there's also, you can do a bit of an African safari on that day. Then we have Abu Dhabi, where you're going to want to check out the incredible White Mosque, and then checking out the city in Bahrain, ending the cruise in Doha, Qatar. So that's our desert days. We do that on a Saturday to Saturday, or you can do that instead. If you want to do the beginning and the end of your cruise in Dubai, you can do Monday out of Dubai instead. Now, both of our ships are going to head over and do the Gulf. And so the Discovery that usually does 3 and 4 nights is doing 3 and 4 nights, but it's shown here as a 7 night. So we'll do Abu Dhabi on a Friday, Dubai, Surbaniaz back to Abu Dhabi. Then you could back to back it if you wanted and do Doha and Ras Al Khaimah, which is really close to Dubai, Kasab, Oman, ending the cruise back in Abu Dhabi. So if you're booking a Celestial cruise, regardless of what category stateroom you're booking, we have what's called Celestial 1. And so what this means is that every guest will receive the following. So again, doesn't matter what category room you have. Obviously, your breakfast, lunch, and dinner is included. The Greek deli is included, and then the pizza bar. We have unlimited filtered coffee, tea, water, and juices as well. You've got unlimited soda or pop during the lunch and dinner hours. Everybody has complimentary Wi-Fi, and that was the big thing. We asked our guests, what is it that you want? And Wi-Fi was the biggest one. Because we're in port so much, this was more of the thing. People just want to be able to connect. Then, of course, your range of activities on board that are complimentary and your port charges and gratuities. Now, if you are booking a cruise with us, what we don't have beverage packages, what we have is the ability for you to do what's called Celestial Pay. So you can actually kind of preload your onboard account in whatever way, however much monies that you think you would end up spending. So this way, you're not contributing towards anybody else's beverage packages. It's really just what is it that's important to you. So for here, if you wanted to put down on your onboard account 100 euros, you'd get an additional 15. If you wanted to put 750, you'd get an additional 175. So again, it's entirely up to you how you would like to do that. So just a reminder, we are celebrating our 10-year anniversary, which we're really excited about. And I'd like to show you where we were and where we are now with a quick video.
Never get enough, that summer feeling rough. Ooh, me and my friends dancing till we drop, and the good times don't stop.
So because it is our 10-year anniversary, we do have a great promotion at the moment. So it is our 2-for-1. So second guest free affair, plus there are some dates that have a kids sale free affair. So this is for itineraries, for any booking that's made by the end of this month. So May the 31st, there's 88 different sailings that are applicable through sailings into March of 2027, as well as we have the buy 2 shore excursions, get 1 free, and up to 250 euros in Celestial Pay, meaning that you come on board and you would already have up to 250 euros on your account that you could use towards different beverages and specialty dinings and such on board. So the last thing we have to say is, well, you just have to be there, and hopefully we will see you on board soon on board a future Celestyal cruise. So let me see if we've got any questions or anything.
I don't see a question, but I actually have one. So I just presume that your onboard currency is euros that you use.
Great question. So in North America right now, we currently only have US dollars. We don't trade in Canadian at the moment. I am trying to get that done, and as soon as I can, I'll let everybody know. But right now, if you're purchasing a Celestial cruise, it's US dollars, although we're not an American company. We are a Greek company. Once you're in Europe, everything is euros. Once you're on board and everything, because we are European, everything on board is in euros. Now, I will say, though, if you're doing the Arabian Gulf, interesting, when I did that, of course, the onboard is euros because that's who we are. But when you're in port, they prefer US dollars in a lot of those ports of call. So it's kind of handy that I had cash for both. I had euros cash, I had US dollars cash because that's the easy currency in most places when you're traveling, but that's what they preferred in the Arabian Gulf. But when you're in Europe, it's euros.
Okay, perfect. So, Stephanie, thank you very much. And thank you for everyone who's attending. I really appreciate the time. We are going to cut this a minute. It started recording, of course, a bit earlier. So me and my wife will slim it down a little bit. and then it will be posted onto our YouTube channel within an hour or so. I hope to have it done. So if you want to rewatch, or if you want to invite friends to come and watch it too, and if you want to book a vacation, of course, we are waiting for you to pop into the office so we can get you on this wonderful celestial cruise as soon as possible. So our YouTube page is just search for Expedia Cruises #Maple Ridge. You'll find the video there and some others that we did as well. So with this, thanks everyone. Go now and enjoy your long weekend and think about the Celestial Cruise. I can't wait to see you book some of those and go and experience the cruise. Hang on, Stephanie. I see a
Oh, is there a question?
question
Let's see.
popped up here, so let me just see. So Gloria asked, what is the cost? Gloria, just reach out to your agent or our office, and they can look at it. It's various costs, so the best
I
is
can
to
give
talk
you
to
I can give
travel
you
agent.
approximate just to give you
Okay.
just to give you an idea. So we're priced like a contemporary brand, but we don't have 3,000 people on board. So we're priced actually quite economically. If you're looking for a balcony, you're probably looking at just around the 2,000, maybe 2,200 US dollar mark per person. So for a 7-night cruise of being so port intensive. So just to give you an idea, obviously, if you're in an insider window, it does depend on how soon you book. So anything that's further out, obviously prices are dependent on demand. So something that's further out is going to have less demand. So the pricing is going to be better. That's why with cruise, last minute isn't always the best way with cruise because it all works based on that demand. So if you're looking for something in around the 26, 27, that's if for a balcony, that's approximately the price point that you're looking at, give or take a little bit. I might be shooting a little high on that, but I always try to put it a little high. So when you get a quote, you're not surprised.
Perfect. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Appreciate that. So I don't see any other questions. So again, thank you guys, and appreciate your time. Have a great weekend. Thanks.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.